What if I told you that one of the capitals of Europe has a history of betrayal, but you'd never know it today? Oh no, today people go there and meander the cobblestone streets. They visit the UNESCO Heritage District right in the center of the capital. They walk in the Art Nouveau district. It's the largest in the world. And they go shopping at the world's largest market. It's incredible. I have been there and it is stunning. You get lost in there. Joyfully, you get lost. Just like we get lost in wonder here, and I'm glad you came to visit. I'm Leslie. Let's talk about behind the beauty. Sometimes we see something beautiful and we think it's always been that way. Oh, that person, she's always been beautiful. That house, it's always been like that. That town, that country. But let's talk. That's rarely the case. Beautiful things take time. They take time to build. And this country, this city specifically, is no different. As a matter of fact, this city sits in a place that has been overrun for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's just one of those places. It's kind of between this big country and that big country, and they kind of like the what's that, an African proverb about getting smashed under the elephants? That's what this city has endured. When I visited there, I took a walking tour and got to hear the story firsthand from a local who lamented that, yes, we are always getting trampled by the big countries that don't think much of us. And so we're always learning how to build, how to keep what we have, how to develop. And that's one lesson we can take. Ladies, when we are in a situation that people are taking things from us, betraying us, people that we trusted are no longer trustworthy. What can we build? What can we create that will give us a reminder, that will give us courage to keep going, even in the betrayal, to keep going in the terrible treatment? Because this country had both German soldiers assaulting, attacking, killing. The Nazis rolled in. When they rolled out, in came the Russians. Oh, they were so excited. We're free. The Nazis are gone. You've come to save us. Only to find out, betrayed again. No, the Russians had not come to save them. The Soviet Union rolled in at the end of World War II to say, thank you very much. We like this land. Get in this train car and head to Siberia. That's what they faced. Oh, it was a brutal time. And so, in our brutal times, in our betrayals, what can we build? Well, they built a beautiful culture. Often they had to hide it. Often it was quietly whispered using their native language, but they retained it. And that's something else we can do. After the betrayal, or even in the betrayal, what can we hold on to that maybe was discarded or was maybe forgotten in all the craziness and the trauma of the betrayal? What's something we can hang on to? Well, this country has held on to beautiful architecture, held on to their heritage, their language. They held on to a wonderful annual event at summer solstice. And if you're there around the end of June and you want to do something very unusual, very special, head to the center of this city. They'll build bonfires. There'll be music. You'll get to see costumed children dancing in the squares. They held on to that. They reclaimed that from the betrayal. They reclaimed that from the hard time they went through. And so, as ladies, we can do that as well. Keep photos, keep journals, keep stories alive. Remember what we've been through. Remember God's faithfulness. Remember that as difficult as it was, There were opportunities for us to grow in wisdom and in courage. Hang on to those things. And tying into that final thing, we can build things when things are taken from us or broken. We can reclaim them, restore those things. And third, we can remember what we've been through. Remembering both the good and bad. Remembering without bitterness. That's the challenge. The people in the city have done it as well. They have both a museum that doesn't shy away from the brutal treatment of the Soviets and before them the Nazis. They've kept that museum quite rough, quite close to how it used to be when it was used to haul people in and do indescribable things to them. They don't want to forget that. They don't glorify in it, but they don't want to forget it. Likewise, across the river from this city is a huge library they built just in the last maybe 10 years. It's enormous and it's a very modern looking building. But before I went there, I turned to go along the river to a small memorial. A little house used to be there. Jana Lipke, which I'm probably saying wrong. I'm sorry, those of you from Latvia. But it was a small, very modest home that was used to save up to 50 Jewish people hidden from the Nazis. Again, humble, nothing fancy, no big signs. Just a quiet reminder that someone held on. Someone did not forget who they were. They remembered that they were courageous. They remembered that their life needed to matter for more than cowering, more than protecting themselves. They were willing to lay their life down and protect others. So, this is a Baltic city. If you remember, we've talked about the Baltics before. I've talked about Estonia. But right beside that is the country of Latvia. And the city is Riga. It's the capital. A stunning city. A city that is very much worth a visit. And as women who want to continue in their footsteps of being resilient, of being resourceful, let's be good builders of things that are valuable. Let's be good reclaimers of things when what we built broke or was taken from us or isn't as nice as it once was, or maybe not quite as sturdy. How can we shore things up and restore, reclaim? And then how can we remember, share our stories with others, share them with ourselves? Remember who we are. Remember what we can do. And recognize that the people in Riga have been through hundreds of years of betrayal, of terrible treatment, and yet they are a proud, happy, grateful people that their God, who is faithfully with them through the terrors, through the trials, is still up to good things. And that little overlooked country along the Baltic Sea, a place where you could go and get lost in wonder, a place where you could go and see behind the beauty. But there are some darker shades, but they're worth exploring. And you can find out more about those places and more in my book right there. You can leave me a comment. What's something in your life that you have had to reclaim, maybe was lost or broken? What do you remember that helps you to move ahead? You got to look both ways before you cross into the next season. Look both behind you and ahead. What can you take with you into the future that will strengthen you and encourage you? Write about it down below in the comments. and subscribe. And I will look forward to seeing you again before long. And remember, behind the beauty, there are some stories there behind each of us. The beauty we build was born out of difficulties, but we have choices to create wonder and to get lost in wonder, not fear, not despair. Get lost in wonder. I'll see you soon.